Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. I am Dark Bull Algo, and thanks for joining me on this morning watch list building session. 3-day weekend coming back. Everybody's super excited. Market's already up a little bit. What's going to happen? Well, I'll tell you what. Today is a magical day. Today is 2/22/22. Interesting. Numbers are a thing. A little bit about me. I am a smart money dark pool block trade algorithm software analyst. I look for stocks and options and try to find instances where we can expect a greater than expected move. A little bit about the stream. What we do is we go over a little bit of news. We look at the overall market conditions. We look at our bread and butter stocks, and then we pull up our favorite tool of all time, which is the Flow Index, which is provided by FlowTrade. It is a smart money dark pool block trade algorithm software that tracks large institutions, hedge funds, smart pools, smart trades, trades. It tracks dark pools, block trades. Wow, I can't speak this morning. Interesting. So with that being said, this is what that looks like here. We try to find opportunities where the flow index is deviated from price. Knowing that where that deviation occurs, price has to return to. It's pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy once you get it figured out. We've got quite a few things to go through. I'm going to be utilizing my Chart Viper tools a lot more. It gives me an expected daily range, which is good in markets that are super choppy, so that we know that if Apple's moved up $3 already, then it's not going to make much more of a move. All right, and it can be trapped in the zone. It's also nice to kind of see what's going on from a global market perspective. Spark Plays, what's up? Johnny, you got here first. You did it, brother. Good morning. All right, Spark Plays. God, I'm teaching a new t-shirt idea, right? I don't know if anybody had a chance to watch the weekly watch list, but our top 4 stocks for the week are not IWM. It is Lululemon, Dick's Sporting Goods, Team, and Match. I've got Shop also thrown in there just for good measure. There's mixed reviews in the different groups. I've got one group that's saying it's going to rip. I've got another group that's saying it's not done yet, falling down on its face. So what do I think is going to happen today? I think we're going to get an initial rally. Short covering from Friday and yesterday's futures. Lots of short covering, so lots of money flowing in the morning, and then we don't really have any events, but I think that we make it a pretty decent move today, followed by later in the week maybe some pulling back. We'll go over our futures to kind of see where we are from a technical standpoint. I think we've hit some key levels, especially yesterday in the futures market. Big drops, big drops. I played the futures market yesterday and did all right. I was bored, so I just overtraded. Came out about even, so pretty decent for just screwing around all day. One thing I have not done yet is get my Thinkorswim fired up, and I don't have my levels outlined yet for the week, but that's all right. So I'm going to use, which chart do I want to use? Magic Celts, or do we want to go? I think Magic Celts might be a good one to use this week. All right. Look at that AMD. Oh, I love AMD. Look at that. Held that 200 gorgeously. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? All right. In technology, AMD upgraded to outperform from market perform by Bernstein. So they're going to get a nice little pop off of that. They are coming off the 4-hour bottom. 200-day on the 312-minute chart. Now, I'm going to start using a little different time frame charts here. I think the market timing is off just a little bit. So our standard, hold on one second. I hope I don't lose my volume here. I had this new mic stand that I got to finish getting set up today. Sorry. Apologies. Got to keep my cords out of my way. So, are you flipping serious right now? What a pain. All right. Apologize about that. It's probably really loud in your ears, but okay. Or it doesn't preserve capital. No, I made $5 yesterday after all my commissions, so I'm green. But you're right, though. I shouldn't be I shouldn't be trading like that when I'm bored. I wanted to show you this AMD chart because I always talk about the Woo reversal, and this is a great example of it, right? There's many names to it. It's the Dow 123. If you wanted to do a little research on it, there's tons of videos out there on this 1, 2, 3 reversal, right? That's what it is right there. That's the standardized version. I use kind of a different version that's a little bit more clear. Price comes down, finds support, rallies up to some resistance, comes down and confirms support. We get long above the 2 number to take that 5th wave up, right? So this is a great example of when that would have happened. So we rallied up above the 2, right? We pulled back to a little bit of support, confirming that this is a breakout, and then we ride that 5th wave up. So that's the Wu-Tang reversal, the Wu reversal. Yes, I'll be making shirts on that. So it's a very popular pattern. It starts on low, really micro scale and goes and gets exponentially larger. If you can catch it on the 15 or the 30 or the 4 hour, then you can expect to hold those for some swings, right? Anything like 5 or 10, it'll just play out within that day. Okay, cool. So that was AMD. BABA shares are down after Bloomberg reported that China tells banks and state firms to report exposure to Jack Ma's ant. What? I hate it when the news doesn't completely cover what it's supposed to be. But remember, BABA was kind of a relative outperformer last week when the market was having some issues. It's been massively selling off ever since. It does have earnings coming up in 2 days. It's coming off the daily bottom, weekly bottom. If there's a bounce or a retracement to the 21, very possibly, maybe a move from 114 to 118 or 120. But this, when the government's telling their state firms to dump it, well, that's what's going to happen, right? So BABA back down to the downside. This is a fun one, has lots of movement, and the options are great on it. Okay. Unisys has earnings, Media Telecom, DWAC. All right, so this opened up over the weekend, right? This did open up over the weekend. Look at this pre-market move, right? 87 to 138. 87 to 138. Made a new high. That's phenomenal. That's just redunculous. Let me just make sure that the other group knows about this, right? In the news, though, it raises... it's up as the new social media venture Truth Social launched late on Sunday in Apple's App Store. The app was among top downloaded in App Store on Monday. Other companies also gained, such as software developer Funware, hired by Trump in 2022. Immediately after it was released, the waitlist started. So let me just drop this in here. Check out the gains overnight. 84 to 140 LFG. Okay. How do you trade this? It's sketchy. If you're good at penny stocks, then you can trade this. But I'm not good at penny stocks, so it's solid. It's got a good solid setup. If it can hold this weekly top right here, then I think it hits trifecta mode because it's out of all of the Celts, right? I don't see any Celts there at all. I don't even see. Where's my monthly Celt? Yo, where's my monthly Celt? Oh, it's so new it hasn't even formed monthlies yet. But big old nasty cup and handle forming, right? It hit 140, so there's the cup forming the handle now. You could probably get long on it. This is love it or hate it. Play the chart in front of you, right? Forming a W on the top end. So out of, hold on, I'll move down to a lower time frame. Yeah, it's ripping. See what it does at the open. There will be lots of profit taking, but it should find support and rally today. Okay. All right. Nokia is primed to gain market share in next generation 5G networks, according to Barron's this weekend, after losing ground in the Swedish rival Ericsson and China's Huawei early in the 5G battle. Nokia hit the reset button, right? This could be a fun one if you're interested in just getting, making $100 a day or something like that. You could probably trade this pretty easily. Comcast, CMCSA. I hate that ticker. I just hate typing it because I always screwed up. Little falling wedge. So the Winter Olympics aired across the broadcast cable and streaming platforms of NBCU, drew an average of 11.4 million primetime viewers over the more than 2-week run, roughly 42% drop from the Pyeongchang Olympics in 2018, which had recorded the lowest Olympic audience until that point. So, wow, nobody's watching the Olympics. I don't know what that's about, but I love the Olympics. All right, moving on. In industrial materials, Honeywell announced a commercial partnership with AstraZeneca to develop and bring to market next generation respiratory inhalers that use near zero global warming potential. Right? They're doing something with the propellants. This is good for the country. This is good for the environment. Well, what's that going to mean? We're out of the bottom of the 4 hours. If we can't retake 183.06 and start working back up to that 4-hour mid, which would be a 21 retrace. So this could be the potential for another move down. See how stocks rally to the 21. And if they can't confirm trend direction reversal, they fall back and rally up, fall back. Do we rally up and fall back? 4-hour bottom daily cloud move, right? So the move from the bottom of the daily cloud to 21, 4-hour mid. What does that look like? 183 to 186. So Trade Ideas just sent me a message that Gdx is the trade of the week. I think you're a little late on that gold move. Sorry, suckers. All right, and let's see, industrial materials. Anything that held us up for the last couple of weeks, there's probably going to need a little bit of pullback. I'm just scanning the news. All right, here we go. You know how long it's been since Moderna's made the news? Seriously, been a while. BNTX and Metagene announced that they have entered in a multi-target research collaboration to develop T-cell receptor or TCR-based immunotherapeutics against cancer. This is good. Daily bottom back into the 4-hour, right? So bounce off of here, which because weekly cloud is the move, right? From the bottom of the weekly cloud to the top. So 148 to 172. If we can get back up into the 4-hour bottom at 152. We have a move up to 160, above 160. We test the daily mid at 165, 167. I think we start running into some resistance there. It looks like we got some overhead resistance, a little falling channel, right? Rally to 21. I like it for a move, especially with news coming out today. Let's look to see if we can get this rally up to the 4-hour top or 4-hour mid. So 160 would be the price target. Currently trading about 148. If it cracks 148, right? If it cracks this bottom of this weekly cloud, which is this white cloud here, then immediate daily bottom retest at 143. Below that, it's no man's land. Probably retest these previous lows at 135. Okay. Is this an H pattern or is this a W? It's looking to be kind of an H because it's sloping and it's not very sharp. After today, we'll know if it comes back. Basically, we'll know if it's an H or W. So remember the 1, 2, 3 reversal. That's what we're looking to have happen on this 312-minute time frame chart. Cancel that sucker out. There we go. What do we got going on here? Sloping. There's a bunch of different names for this. I've heard an elephant or not an elephant, an elf shoe before. Kind of looks like a leg, right? Heel, arch of the foot, and then the flick of the toes. So let's launch stocks higher. Okay. OCGN. This is another fun one. So the FDA lifted a clinical hold on the company's investigational. Boom. Right? Imagine you being a penny stock warrior, 350 to 540. You'd be, I'm rich. Lifted the hold on the company's investigational new drug application to evaluate COVID-19 vaccine candidate. So the FDA lifted the hold on the specific drug outside of the U.S. Okay. AstraZeneca in the news again said it's Sankyo. Look at that move. Reported positive phase 3 trial results for their treatment on breast cancer patients. Said that its drug demonstrated meaningful survival improvements in patients with breast cancer compared with physicians' choice of chemo. Hey. So, all right. Out of the 4-hour top, doesn't have much room left, really. Weekly top 62, 64, 64. Right. If I held the stock, I'd be taking profit here. Pull back. Okay. All right. And energy. Or you guys remember Marathon Petroleum? I traded this a long time ago. Right. Its oil refinery near New Orleans exploded into flames on Monday, threatening to crimp fuel supplies and raise pump prices at a time of already rampant inflation. The company's plant is one of the largest, nation's largest, and a key supplier of gasoline, diesel, and other fuels. Ruh-roh. Yeah, that's not good. So prior to that, we had a nice long-term squeeze, slingshot squeeze getting ready to set off. Double green, or ready and fire, getting ready to fire off to the upside. Got a little bit of a pop when this shorter term squeeze released up above the 200, above 50. Couldn't hold. We're back testing the 21 now for support. What do we do from here? Well, depending on how we digest that news, we could easily back test this weekly cloud top for a move back up to the 4-hour. 4-hour top. We're currently at the 4-hour mid, right? 78, 80, 81. Or we reject and we come back below 77.33, 76, then 75. Below 75, real quick drop down to 72. So see how that market absorbs that news, right? It is still in the oil sector, so those should be running rampant today, right? All right. In consumer news, Home Depot had earnings. Lots of earnings this week. Home Depot was one of the big ones. Q4 EPS at 321 versus 317. Revenues at 35.72 billion versus 34.8. Q4 comparable sales up 8% with a 7.6 comparable sales increase in the U.S. They're increasing their quarterly dividend 15% to $1.90 per share. What? That's pretty huge. Sees forward-looking 2022 revenue up slightly versus estimated $153.94 billion. Y'all know that Michael Langone founded Home Depot. We share some commonalities there. Kellogg's with some supply chain issues. Rice Krispie cereal is the latest victim of U.S. supply chain troubles due to a temporary shortage due to manufacturing constraints. Look at this. Why didn't we trade this all last week off of this earnings? This is great. Look for daily top rejection. Breakdown below the 4-hour. Possible move back down to 64. If it can crack the daily cloud, 66.15, there's a move to about 67. Okay. Futures is having a rough time. It's having a rough time. That's a good move, though, right? However, we missed it. We missed it for the biscuit. All right. Tons of earnings today. After the close, I'm just going through. Teladoc has earnings today. We trade that. Space has earnings today. There's a bunch of them, like too many to name. Just going through anything that we've traded or we've talked about pretty extensively. FANG, F-A-N-G, has earnings today. Diamondback Energy, not to be confused with the FANG. Caesars. Caesars has earnings, right? If they have decent earnings, you could go 78 to 88. There's a $10 move there, potentially. That's about it for after the close. I mean, there's a ton. Oh, my son owns so many shares of this. Krispy Kreme. We're in it I think we're down like $1, maybe total. So, yeah, right on. All right, so we do have a few events today. ICSC weekly sales are at 7:45 Eastern, which is happening right about now. Monthly home prices for December, market manufacturing PMI, services PMI, and composite PMI all at 9:45 Eastern. Consumer confidence in February is at 10. And then the Richmond Fed index for February, I believe we may have a speaker today too. We may have speaker today. Yeah. These may affect the market, right? These 9:45 ones. Wow. So nothing big today. Tomorrow, however, nothing on the bill for then. On the 24th, crude oil inventories. All right, Messer speaking at 9 and Waller speaking that night. Ooh, Waller's going to drop bombs. Unemployment claims. Did they change this on me? Because unemployment doesn't come out at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. It comes out at 6:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm going to have to see, because I feel like it's not 7:48. It's, yeah, we'll just check that out. So we got this Fed on Thursday, going into Friday. This PCI price index month over month, that's the, that should remain unchanged. Yeah, so not a ton of meetings this week or events that may affect the market. Okay, so just a real quick overview. Stocks tumbled globally overnight with the S&P falling as much as 2% before rebounding in a big way off the lows to down about negative 0.015% as investors remain on edge. After all, Putin told the French and German leaders on Monday they plan to sign a decree recognizing two breakaway regions in Ukraine as independent. What that does is allows them to walk into the country invited, and since they're broken apart and independent, they cannot become part of NATO, so they don't get any NATO protection. Okay, so Russian-backed separatists broke away from Ukrainian government control in 2014, proclaimed themselves independent people's republics for the first time. Russia is saying it does not regard the Donbass as part of Ukraine. That could pave a way for Moscow to send military forces into separatist regions openly, using the argument that it is intervening as an ally to protect them against Ukraine. So smart. In Asian markets, the Nikkei index tumbled 461 points, or 1.7%. Sorry, fell down. Shanghai fell 0.96. Hang Seng declined 2.69. Wow. And in Europe, the DAX is down about 40 points, while the FTSE is up about 15 points. Macro headlines have been in control of major averages recently, rising and falling sharply on any headline. Watch the news. Meanwhile, on U.S. stock indexes fell Friday and notched a second consecutive losing week as the conflict put investors on edge. For the week, S&P fell 1.5, Dow lost 1.8, and the Nasdaq dropped 1.7. Moscow continues to deny its plans to invade Ukraine, while the U.S. and its allies have warned that Putin could be planning to attack as Russia maintains a military buildup along the border. Well, you know what that means, right? Yeah. I can't believe they didn't even bring this up, but the Russian ETF, I don't know the name of it, fell like 8 points without a circuit breaker. What is the name of it? Is it this one? Is it Eros? No. I'll look for it. Oh, it's Rut. No. What is it? It's not this. It's something. There's a very specific one. But basically, it felt like 8%, like straight drop. Nothing stopped it, right? nothing stopped it. It's pretty bad. It took a tumble, a tumbly. All right, so I need this guy over here, this guy here, this guy here. All right, let's get into the futures. All right. So what's going on with the futures? What's going on in the world today? All right. So failed W breakout. Now we've got kind of a maybe a longer term W if you're bullish, right? However, it's important to note that going into this purple line, which is the FOMC meeting in March 16th, we have fell below all major support. Okay, we had a retracement. We had a Fibonacci retracement from this high to this low. We couldn't get back up above the 618. We couldn't reverse the trend. Tried it once, pulled back to the 200. Tried it twice, couldn't get above it. Broke the 200, fell down to a retracement from this low to this high. We had a 382 retracement, which is usually a reversal point. Thought we were going to rally up, couldn't get back above the 200, fell off. Snowline support broke that, took out the 382, traded below it. We came down and hit 42.51, right? That's a major level. If we look left, right, we've pretty much destroyed any sort of micro zones that we had to provide us some support. Okay, this is a nice trading zone here. So we have negatively stacked moving averages. The 21 hasn't crossed below the 200 yet, and the 50 hasn't crossed down. So this is still kind of, think of an elastic, right? It could still be doing one of these, right? You'll see the difference when we get into the Russell, right? So we could get some pops. So I'm going to sell any rallies to the 200 or the 21 because I think we're setting up for more of a downside move. The other thing that we have to keep in mind or possibly consider is that target met, right? Lots of shorts coming in, so they're going to start covering. We should look for a pullback or at least an initial rally today, which we've already started to do, as you can see on this 4 hour off of the low, 42.50, right? All right off of this skyline, back up, retesting this snow line, which is also the 21 EMA on the 4 hour. Let me see if I can get this a little bit bigger here. Okay. Let's take this trend line, right, and realize that it's probably not going to be effective there, but look at this guy. So any rallies to this 21, right? I'm bearish until we get above 43.71. We get a candle close above 43.71, then we can retest the 50 and make this move from snowline to skyline. Okay. Rejection here for the pullback. Okay, looking at it on the 30-minute, starting to make that move, right? I traded this down yesterday, right? Back down to 42.50, double bottom, tweezer bottom, right? Working our way back up, bull flag forming. Can we get back above the snow line and basically trade this zone right here, or the 382 to the 50%, right? That 200 on the 30 minutes is going to be trouble for us. We have to just yes, this is a great move, right? This is short covering here. We've got overhead resistance. We got to be careful of, just be careful. All right. OZ ES. Let's check out the NQ. Time. All right. NQ on the daily. NQ is a little bit worse off than the ES. We are forming a giant doji right now, right? So same deal, retracement from the high to the low. We came up and we tested the 382. We tested the 50% retracement. We failed off of that, right? That gave us an uptrend. We took the low and the high, and we've got some support levels here that were broken. The 6.8, the 50%. Typically, we'll get a bounce rally. We rallied up, rejected the 200 or the snow line, came back down, broke through all of these fib levels, bounced off of a previous demand zone, rallied back up. You couldn't get above the 618, 50%, 382 broke, right? Everything's breaking. Do we come back? Is the snow line at 13465.75, the downside magnet? Absolutely. Okay. Below that, it starts to get sub 13,000, right? It gets real nasty down here. Do we get a bounce here? If so, then we could be forming a nice little inverse head and shoulders over the next couple of weeks going into FOMC, right? This purple line is the March 16th date. So do I have my ghost candles? Oh, I had ghost candles. That's anchored VWAP. I thought I could do ghost candles. I thought that used to be a thing. Oh, ghost feed. All right. Something like that, maybe. Possibly. All right. Let me draw it out for you. Let's go to the 4 hour so we can see what we're dealing with pre-market. All right. This was our trend line support. We broke it. We're trading below previous lows, right? Oh, I know they're like, oh, the lines, I can't see anything. Let me make this little. All right. We got a 2150, 200 negatively crossed down. Overhead previous trend line support is not going to be resistance. Skyline to skyline, right? Bounce up, rally to the 21. What happens at the 21? Do we break through and rally up to retest the 382 in the falling 50-day, right? Do we move back up into this trading zone right here? Or do we reject this area here for a larger downside move to this white line magnet? I'm going to be keeping an eye on stuff today. Looking at the 30-minute. Very similar. Let's break this down to 5-minute. Right, nice big rallies up, kind of running into some overhead resistance here. Right, I think the next trading zone goes from pretty much here to here. I'm gonna have to go back and look at these zones. All right, 14,000 break, 14,065, potential 14,138. That'd be a pretty big move. Short coverings. So the gap, tree line is support, or skyline is support 13,837. Below that, we start falling off a cliff. Kind of forming a little bit of a wedge there. We really have to pay attention to where they're rotating into. Okay, looking at the Dow, the dilly-dally daily Dow. There we go. Similar move, pull back above the 200. This was looking really good for a little bit. Couldn't get back above the 50. Pulled back, was riding the 200 for a couple days. Got above the 50. Thought things were going to recover, and we got smacked. Rejected, massive pullback. Now we can't get back above the 200. We're falling off. There is a little bit of a trading zone there, right? A little bit of a trading zone here, but I think the more important one is these levels are tough, y'all. Levels are tough to gauge. I'm just going to stick with this one for now. Might make it a little bit bigger. Something like that. So if we cannot reverse here, if this is not, and doesn't end up being a doji, right? And we get clear direction, there's downside opportunity, upside opportunity currently overnight. big move us up, right? Up, up, up. We pull back and then continue up, forming an inverse head and shoulders, right? Tree line, massive support and resistance. 382. So this retracement is from this low to this high. I should probably move that to the new high. There you go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, that's way better. Okay. Again, 21. What happens to the 21? Rally up, rejection, rally up, rejection, or rally up, breakthrough. Maybe rally, rejection, back to support, breakthrough, get long above this level here. Negatively stacked moving averages. If we saw this on the stock, we'd be like, this is bearish. Okay, so there's no difference. Okay, this is, all right. Looking at the Russell. Sorry, I had to read a message. All right. On the daily. All right, Russell, a little bit more trouble. Snowline magnet. Rallied up, touched it, came back right off of this broadening wedge that is held up for a while. Rallied back up. It looks like I could probably draw some overhead resistance here, right? We'll look at the tree line as a magnet, 2039, possible retest to 21. When we get above the 21 and break this overhead resistance, then we got to move up to the 50 on small caps. Maybe that's where the rotation happens, right? Maybe they rotate into small caps. Looking pretty healthy so far. Off of tree line or skyline to skyline, 21 resistance. Looks like we might, I can't even draw a line there. Like I said, 2038, or yeah, 2038 is the upside target. Watch for the inverse head and shoulders to be formed. Can very easily do one of those. Pretty much across the board on all time frames. There is this trading zone here that we're entering into. Look for the 2150 crossover on the 30-minute. That's bullish. Bull flag breakout. Rally up to the 200, or, you know, well, the 200 is probably going to stuff us, right? 2032. So 2032 to 2040 is potential upside targets before we pull back. Okay. That's on the old red-headed Russell. All right, looking at gold. All right, I don't remember. I think it was watchlist that turned us on to gold before this move happened. So thanks for that. Right? They were like, look, check out gold down in here, which is a great move. Okay, this white line is the zero line, which is a regression line, which stock just likes to chill out on. It's moved a little bit. I gotta adjust for it. So for gold though, rally, pullback, rally. It is the most bullish. Stack positive moving averages, 2150, 200. They're all stacked positive. Big old moves up to one standard deviation and kissed it. You guys think I'm crazy about this regression line here. See this white line? Gotta adjust the regression line a little bit. Okay. So 68% of all trading occurs between this one standard deviation, this orange line, and this orange line. I should probably change those colors. 68.2% of all transactions occur between those two lines. Something like 90% occur between the green lines, and very rarely do you see the 3 standard deviation, which is these blue lines, right? We're not going to hit 4, right? So if something is trading at 3 deviations away from the zero line, that's the elastic stretched as far back. I mean, it's like a lot of tension, so it's going to snap back, right? And then calmly kind of settle itself out a little bit, right? Kind of like a guitar string. Okay. So we're trading at 1 standard deviation, which is bullish. Okay. We may get a little pullback, or we can rip through it and definitely trade up to 1.5, 2 standard deviations away. Okay. So what does that mean? Let me just reset this sucker. All right. We rallied up, we traded to it. We're kind of dodging here. We're either, we're kind of running out of gas. We don't know what's going on. Consolidation, do we break and rally, or do we retest? Okay. Looking at it from a 4-hour perspective, steady inclines. All right. Keep testing this 21 for support. Right. Last time we tested it, we ripped up off of it. Up, down, up. Right. 1 standard deviation away, back down testing. So is this a new base, or is this a big old giant reverse bull flag? From a 30-minute perspective, lots of movement, ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. Okay. It'd probably be a little bit more accurate with my trading zones, because there's a couple here. 30-minute time frame, watch for the 21 to bounce off the 50. If that happens, it can pull price back up. If it rejects it, then this is a downside move setting up. Watch the 200 for support below the 200, which is at 1888, 1890, below 1890, 1878, 1870, and then back here. Okay, very, very careful on gold. Okay, and then crude. Crude rallied $95 a barrel. Well, 94. I can't read it. 94.90 a barrel. Rejected. Snowline to snowline. Snowline to snowline. That's a move. It's a real move. Don't sleep on it. We're breaking back down through some support levels. Is this a head and shoulders forming on the 30-minute? Very, very possibly could be, right? Very, very possibly could be. So be careful if you're trading crude or crude-related symbols. The 10-year bond or the 30-year bond. 10-year? 10-year? Yeah, I think it's a 10-year or 30-year. I'll have to look. But basically rallied up, hit resistance, selling off. When this is down, this is usually up. This is TLT if you want to look at an equity comparison to SPY, okay? And then the yen is finally pulled back. It is holding its 200 pretty good, right? We like to see the yen failing, right? We don't like strength in the yen. So let's look back, and I can't even show you a decent day. But basically, if this 200 breaks, then we can get some continued strength in the overall markets, okay? All right, how am I doing on time? Doing all right. Let me just get these reset here for everyone. All right, so on lower time frames, the 200 is doing a lot of support right now. Pretty much everything's being held up by it. Like I said, if these crack, it's bye-bye gains. Say bye-bye to your gains. All right, now the next little section of our broadcast is the flow index. Okay. So you know who we haven't seen a lot of lately, and I'm a little sad, is Laz. Laz has been missing. He's been doing other things. So wish him the best of luck with all of that. Excuse me. All right. What you see in front of you now is the flow index. This is the FlowTrade system. FlowTrade has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars creating their own flow index algorithm that tracks smart money, dark pools, block trades, large institutions, hedge funds, transactions. It's created its flow index. Flow index is a predictive leading indicator showing what smart money is doing. Okay. The way that smart money works is they can't drop billions of dollars in on a price, because what would happen is they'll artificially inflate the liquidity and the price of it when things settle and they realize that it was artificially inflated. Price action will actually settle out lower than where they got in, so they would be in a negative position from the beginning. They have to slowly scale and build into positions. They do that as price is coming down, so that when price hits a reversal point or support level, right, they've got a position that they've averaged into that they can start scaling out as price pulls, as price starts increasing. That is called divergence. And if you look at Lululemon, we've got some divergence that occurred. See how the flow index is currently trading in one direction, right? Flow index is moving in this direction. At this point in time, here, right, price action was selling off, right? It was moving in another direction. That creates a divergence from this point, which is the 322. So right, price is still selling off. There's little parts of micro divergence that's played out. So let's look at this initial little one right here. So from 310, knowing we have divergence at 321, what's going to happen? Well, since the flow index is, they're selling out, or they're buying into these positions, it's going to increase price, right? And as we found support, smart money started selling out of their positions or selling these shares that are being bought up, right? So little micro divergences, that 320 is pretty much played out. So we're trading a little bit with price, but we're starting to make higher lows and higher highs. Look for price action to get pulled back up. I've got a 320 target on the break above 311 to 320. Okay, that's just a real quick example. We're seeing that with Gdx as well, right? Flow index is making higher lows and higher highs. Price is making lower lows and lower lows. There's going to be a reversal point, right, where price is going to start being pulled back up by the flow index. Team, Match.com, all very similar. Okay, so I'm going to go through your requests this morning after I say good mornings. Morning, Johnny. You're the first one here this morning. I think you won today. Killer didn't show up today. Oh, he did. Killer, what happened? Johnny beat you. Go, Johnny. I think it's funny. I love seeing the competition. All right, Andrea, good morning. Billy, what's up? Killer in the house. Michael Brophy, welcome. And watchlist, good to see you. Andrew, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so let's get those out. Johnny, what do you got for me, bud? Don't tell me I just did this whole thing with no sound. You should be able to hear me. That would be sad. All right, so we want to look at Halliburton, CPE. D-Dog. I like trading D-Dog. That's a fun one. Dwack. And then Ford, Nike, Moderna. Oh, watch list. Why did you bring up Moderna? Oh, okay, we'll go over it. All right, so what we're looking at here, since we had a 3-day weekend, I'm gonna go ahead and bump my block trades out to the last 5 days, just because nothing happened yesterday. And we'll get started on this. Looking at HAL. I have not traded this. I've not traded this stock before, so I'm not really familiar with it. I see the flow index is making a series of higher lows and higher highs up into this point. Then it's made a lower low and a lower high. So it might be pulling back a little bit. Price, meanwhile, has kind of consolidated at these regular block trades that are at 32.17 and 32.35. I would play above 32.35 up to 32.86, possibly 33. Okay, we got to maintain our trend line support here, right? What we got going on here? From a divergence standpoint, I'm not seeing a ton that hasn't already played out, right? Looks like it's had some issues at this 32, 35 level. But once it gets above it, it looks pretty explosive. Does that make sense? Got above it, exploded, back tested it, exploded up, hit some resistance, sold off. This thing moves. Interesting. And I'd be interested to see what happens with the flow index. Does it bounce? All right, do we get a bounce here? Or does it consolidate for the next couple of days? This looks like consolidation. Last time it did it, it rallied up. This is what you like to see. Above, pulling back, testing the support level for a launch pad. Okay, these blocks came in on the 18th, so they're not new. They're not old. They came in basically Friday midday. Okay, looks like they've both been filled. All right, CPE. I'm not sure what CPE is, but flow index is just trading smack dab with it. It's really hard to gauge. There's no regular blocks or dark pool levels. Looks very cyclical, meaning it's cyclical. So 55 to 48 to 55 to 48 or 49 to 57. Right? Is it starting its next cycle up? Broke its overhead resistance, just kind of consolidating there right now. Flow index is pointing down. If flow index continues to make lower lows and lower highs, I would look for any sort of rally, right? Find the reversal point. If the flow index pulls back and then reverses, look for the rally, and then I would get short from here, knowing that we're going to short it back down to this level where the divergence occurred. But currently it's just trading with price, so it's too early to tell, really. All right, D-Dog. I had a buddy of mine when I was younger named B-Dog. Like, B-Dog. All right, so what's happening? All right, so we had a little bit of divergence that's played out here. Ever since then, price action and the flow index have been heading in the same direction. This is tough. Because we've got, like, if we use that downtrending trend line, we could possibly do it. Price has got another 50 cents basically to fill this gap right here. Does it bounce there? Just have to keep an eye on the flow index, really. There is no divergence to help us out. Definitely got some nasty overhead resistance, though. All right, it's respecting that. I wouldn't say it's a falling channel because I mean that's a long way for it to drop. Like I said, this gap gets filled here. Right, so next down cycle should fill the gap and then possibly a reversal. It's really heavy. Flow index is selling with it. All right. That was D-Dog. And there's no blocks in the last 5 days to help us out to give this guide. Dwack. All right, we knew it hit, what, 150? So flow index is really not going to be any help right now. All these micro divergences have played out. Watch the flow index. If it starts selling off, that's going to be a lot of profit taking. And we have a point of divergence here. I know it's micro, but it's at 81.80. Yeah, price is going up. Flow index is going down. Okay. All right, next up on our list is Nike, Moderna, SPY. What did you have up, Johnny? I swear I didn't skip you. I always look. What's a spark play? Oh, I did. Well, Okay, so yeah, all right, you were for my bad. Yeah, you were here first, but I didn't see your play until later. I apologize, bro. My bad. Nike, Moderna. You guys want to look at SPY? And Airbnb. All right, Nike. Nice little move, Nike. Little Nike move here. So gap filled. We got dual dark pulls at 142.80, 142.84. That's our support level. We've got a regular block at 143.44. That should be overhead resistance and then support. The flow index, nice algo move here. Typically that used to mean that a bunch of brokers got together and got interested at the same time, right? This is kind of bullish divergence. Okay. But we gotta look at this a little more carefully because we've got kind of a little flag there that we ripped up, couldn't get above 149, right? 149, 149.25 seems to be the top. If that's pretty dead spot on, right? There is a trading zone. That runs 144 up to about 145.50. Pretty nice little zone there. The safe move would be one. Ooh. So we're down, up, down. All right, daily bottom, rallied up, 4 hour, right? Hit weekly, back to the 4 hour mid or 4 hour cloud, right? If we can get back up above 142, I think there's a move to 144, possibly 145, up, back up. Oh yeah, that's nice. Nike looks pretty good today. I like it. As long as the flow index can bounce and continue to move back to the upside. All right, let me show you what I'm seeing here. I don't see it anywhere. You see what I'm talking about? This is the first time I see this. Or else I wouldn't, I wouldn't skip you. I can see this last one that you put through, but the first one, not at all. I got Good Morning Spark Plays, and then this. Yeah, so I apologize. If I would have saw it, that I would have played it. I don't know what's going on. My bad. So, CVX, DVN, XOM. All right. So Chevron, I don't know what DVN is, but Exxon, right? You're looking to play the oil or the crude sector. Okay. So what do we got going on here? Trading with price. Lots of dark pool and regular block trade resistance. 133.42, 133.60, 133.75, right? If it can get above, right? If it can get above and the flow index continues to pull up, I think there's a move 134 to 136. However, it's rejected, pulled back, support once, rejected, pulled back, support twice, rejected, rejected, rejected. It keeps getting stuffed, right? The flow index is making lower lows and lower highs. Crude hit 95, so profit taking there. We had a plant blow up. I don't know if that's going to affect Chevron or not, but I would say below this regular block at 132.42. I think we backfill this gap to 130.150, possibly 130. Or we just gap up overnight, right? All right, so we're through the daily 4-hour mid. Bull flag forming. 4-hour tops at 136.82. Right, you could play the 136.82 to 137.71. Back test, move to the daily top. This would be a pretty solid move, right? It would be. It hasn't hit the daily bottom in a long time, right? It would be the up, back, up move, or contrarian, we go the other way. Right, it would be so gap up, bull flag, rally, looking at the flow index. Flow index is pointed up into Friday. We'd have to really see how the initial first 15 minutes or so work. What is that, 134? 135.52. 135.50. So we're going to trade this zone here. Basically that one. Okay. So we're going to trade this zone up. Okay. All right. Next up, DVN. I don't know what this is, but I keep seeing it pop up on some scanners. The flow index keeps getting stuffed. It's trying to reverse, right? Up, back, up, back, up. Flow index is forming inverted head and shoulders. This is just super choppy. We have a regular block at 54.25, another one at 55.25. So there's a $1 range right there. But I mean, what's going on with the flow index? It looks like it's stuck. Looks like it's getting stuck. So I'd wait maybe. This is just super choppy. For a $2 range, I couldn't trade it. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pullback on the flow index, maybe. But with this one, it's got just as much potential to the downside. So if it breaks, and it's got to go gap to fill too. So maybe some quick pops, and then I think a larger move to the downside. Quick pops, right? Everything's popping. Oh, well, hold on a minute. What do we got going on here? Oh, this looks like it's getting ready to go trifecta mode on me, huh? So if we can get above 57.85, then I think we get new all-time high. Is that what we're doing? Then trifecta, it's super bullish, coming off. Right, rally, 4-hour bottom or 4-hour top. If it can clear the daily cloud, like I said, at whatever this level is, 57.84, it's going to launch. Ready and fires, slingshot squeezing. Yeah, DVN's going to go. Yeah, that's a good call. So support is 56.46. Below that, 56 even. If we crack that, then we come back and retest 55, potentially 54. Okay, above 56.83, we get a nice launch on that. gonna have to seriously pay attention to the flow index though, because it's not giving us any hints. All right, Exxon Mobil is just net selling, right? They've been net selling for a while. See how the flow index or price is moving with the flow index. As long as that continues to point down, we break trend line support. We break regular blocks at 77.17, 77.05, and a dark pool at 76.98. If we break that, we gap fill back down to 76, 75, 74. Flow index is pulling price action down with it, right? What was that on? Jeez. Well, the flow index was still net selling. We can't clear the 4-hour top, right? If we can't get through this 4-hour top, move to the daily top, then so it'd be daily mid through the 4-hour top to the daily top, right? 80, 81, 50. If we reject this and we break down below 78, 15, 4-hour bottom at 76, daily, weekly, monthly bottom at 74, 45. Slingshot squeeze, high compression should release. You know what? Let's make this a little bit cleaner. All right. Yeah, we could definitely launch here. Or we, like I said, below 78.11, we test 77 again. Below that, we come back down to the bottom. All right. All right, I gotta go wake up some knuckleheads here in a second. All right, Airbnb. Did I already do Moderna? I feel like I did. All right, so Airbnb. We have a little bit of bullish divergence. We've got regular block support at 174.45, 180. That's a nice trading zone right there. We could trade that again, 175, 180. Flow index is making higher lows and higher highs, so it should start pulling price action up with this. This little divergence here is traded out, so we've got brand new divergence, right? I like longer term divergence. It's a little bit easier to navigate, but we've got fresh divergence. Look for below 173.76, we back test 170. We could trade that 170 zone back down to 165. Contrarian, if this regular block level holds at 175, there's a move to 180. Above 180, it's pretty woody till then to 185, 190. I used to love trading Airbnb. So 4-hour bottom, look at this 4-hour top, 4-hour mid, 4-hour bottom. If this level holds, we would do 4-hour bottom, weekly cloud trade 175 to 180, right? Either bounce off of the daily cloud top and move back up to the 4-hour top, or contrarian, looks like we're rejecting some stuff. If we can't hold this level, 172, 168, below 168, 160. So that would complete the daily bottom cycle, or the daily cycle, right? Or is that the mid? My bad. It's a daily mid. It's heavy. We're going to get some help from MACD crossovers and ready and fires, getting ready to fire off. Looks like we got some minor compression squeezes here. And the flow index is bullishly diverged. So Airbnb, that's ugly. I don't like that wick. I don't know if that's a stop killer, but it looks like we're having a problem with the 4-hour cloud, right? So 172 to move to 174. Then we trade the cloud 174 up to 180. If we reject this and we come back to 168.50 below that, we find the 160. Okay. And then finally, we've got Moderna. And then what's another one? All right, Moderna. It's just trading with price action. Remember, I told you last week, I can't remember what stock it was, maybe Google. If you ever see these bat ears right here, this right here, it's very bearish. Batman is bearish for the stock market. Just remember that. If you see that, just be like, oh shit. Right. So pulling back, we broke trendline support. We rallied up, rejected this regular block trade at 147. Dark pulls at 146.81 and 146.35 couldn't hold. Right. Flow index is trading 1-to-1. So if that continues to pull down, there's an opportunity for Moderna to go 141. 140. I think they have earnings this week as well. Yeah, they have earnings. They have earnings in 2 days. But for our bottom, daily bottom bounce, we're going to attack the weekly cloud bottom for our mid, above that for our top. So the move would be pull back to 140 for a move to 146 or 147. Above 147, there's a move to 153. Now, that would require a lot of solid moves. So trading zone here, right? There's already a trading zone there established. So maybe we ride that move up to there. This is the move I'm looking to have happen here, right? Off of the bottom, up, bounce, up, right? Up, bull flag breakout, rally, bounce, up. Okay, rally into earnings. Options contracts are going to be super overinflated with a bunch of IV. So go next week's. If you're going to trade it, don't trade this week's options contracts. Okay, and then finally, Spaghetti Spy. All right, so last 5 days, massive amount of dark pulls right here at 436, 436.90. That's overhead resistance. Will become massive levels of support if we can get above it. Lots of buying it to the close. Up, back, up. Look for the Wu-Tang reversal. So on a break above 437, SPY's probably already done that this morning. Oh, maybe not. SPY's selling off using the daily Keltner channel bottom as support. Weekly cloud, if we can't get back above 434 for a move to 440, right? We've got support at 429, 425, 424. Below 424, it gets ugly. There's nothing except for the monthly mid at 400, right? When was the last time we talked about 400 on SPY? So this weekly daily bottom has got to be support. If it breaks it, right? If it can't, if we have another down day on SPY, we're sitting sub 400s. So like I said, if we can get back to trade into like this zone from here to there, that would be nice, right? I didn't even know what. Oh, learning new shortcuts. Trend line's worthless. Doesn't mean anything. So up, rejected, big wicks. These may be stop killers. Taking out all these shorts. Yeah, I like 437, 440, 443 for this week for SPY. If we break below, however, 431, we hit 429, 425. 425 is sketchy. Okay. All right. I got to go wake up my knuckleheads. Did I miss anybody? I just did SPY. Give you one good trade. I gave a weekend watch list of 4 of them. even possibly 5. Did you watch the video? Like downtrending, Lulu's downtrending, right? But look what's happening. Possible reversals here, right? Maybe we wick down to 304, right? Bounce off the daily bottom, back into the 4-hour. Lululemon pays good. It's got a $14 ATR. Moderna has lots of put volume, absolutely. Team, which is another one, another H-shaped pattern. We could play point of control, VWAPs at 295, right? If we take out lows, then we trade back down quickly. There's demand zones all over the place here. All over the place. There's a demand zone there, right? Play the rally to the 21 and the short the tops. Okay, I got to run. Thanks for joining me. Dark Bull Algo. I'm here every morning, Monday through Friday. I will see you all tomorrow. $17. That's so. Oh. Hey now. AMC support 1750. 17 above 1750. 18, possible 18, 19 move. I can't believe the stock is trading like this, but look at this nice curling over. If we can get moving average stack positive again, it can start uptrending. Okay, I got to run. Talk to you later. Have a great day. Hit me up in the Discord if you have any questions, and make sure you like